Hey, welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. We are hitched up and ready to go on our first trip of the year to French Creek State Park. I'll bring you back when we get there. Well, we have arrived at French Creek Loop A, Site 1. A1. So I'll show you the site and talk about why I do this early shakedown camping trip to figure out all the bugs before we get the season really started. So here's our site. So it's paved where the camper sits. It's relatively short. Now that camper is 27 feet, but you can see with the truck, I easily fit into the site. I'll angle it a little bit to give me some room. So this is a full hookup site with water, electric, and sewer. I had an issue with the water. My second white hose failed. It was leaking, pouring. So I temporarily am using the green one, but you can see I have a drip over there. So I'm probably gonna have to replace that fitting. So we'll take a look at that. I was real close on the sewer, so that made it easy. It's pretty level side to side. I had to put one board under it, and then my stabilizers in the back are on dirt, so I put the yellow plastic feet underneath it to help it stabilize. The front I just drove down onto the macadam. Over on this side, on the fun side, it's a bit of a mud pit, so it looks like it gets a little bit of rain pulling in here. So I got the carpet out, and that'll help track it, you know, keep it a little bit cleaner inside. The grandsons are coming tomorrow, so we'll have to go over the shoe rule because of the mud. And you can see this site has the picnic table and the fire ring behind it, so I like that. So we'll have a fire, got some wood with us. So that's the site. It is the first site coming into the campground, and there's a playground right across the street behind that ram and that rockwood. So you can see that playground, so the kids will be happy that the playground is right across from the campsite. So that'll be good. So that's our site. Everything else seems to have survived the winter. I just have to look at that one drip and buy one extra hose. My regular new hose is too far away, so that's why I always have 2 or 3 hoses with me to take care of that. All right, let's see what's up next. Now Loop A and C have some full hookup sites, and at the state parks they're a bargain. So you can see, try to zoom in on that, $143.50 for 3 nights. There's a $6.50 transaction fee, and it was $137 for the site. And remember, that's full hookup, and they have 30 and 50 amp. So not a bad deal. The other thing you have to be careful of if you have a pet, certain loops allow pets, certain loops don't. So Loop A and C, I know allow pets. So you want to check that at any Pennsylvania state park to see if the loop that you're choosing allows pets if you camp with a pet. Well, good morning. We got some rain last night, but the sun is starting to peek out today. There's gonna be some spotty showers today and tomorrow, but it's not a washout, so it should be okay. We're gonna pick up the grandsons and bring them over with their bicycles. So here's the site, and you can see if I just turn this way, right there's the playground. So they're gonna like that. Of course, they always love riding their bikes around the campground, so that should be fun for them too. And there's 2 lakes here at French Creek, so I brought all the fishing gear, so we'll see if they want to do a little fishing while we're here. This is the main drag through the campground. So down there is overflow parking for additional vehicles and Loop D, and then we're in Loop A, and then Loop B and Loop C are up here, so we'll check it out. Now Loop A and Loop C are pet friendly, and they are also the 2 loops that have full hookup sites. Not all the sites in those loops are full hookup, so you got to be careful if you want one to make sure you book the right site. Loop B has some electric sites and primitive sites, but Loop B and D are no pets. And of course, you can rent cabins and yurts at French Creek State Park if you don't have a camper or you don't feel like camping in a regular tent. So here you can see a couple of yurts. Yurt 1 and Yurt 2, but they're very nice. And then up here also next to Loop C is 3 cabins. Now there is 1 cabin that's pet friendly and the rest are not, so again, if you have a pet, you want to be very careful on what you choose. This is Loop C. See a lot of bigger rigs up here. The Loop C was the initial loop that had full hookups, and then recently they added full hookups in Loop A. So we used to stay in Loop C quite a bit. Probably next year's camping trip to French Creek, I'll come back up to Loop C. You see where that Lance truck camper is sitting? That was the site that I typically had when I was up here in Loop C. Of course, in front of the playground, they have a free library book exchange. And you can see they got some kiddo books over here. Got some mysteries. So you can switch out your book and pick up a new one. That's a great idea. I see more and more of these at campgrounds. I remember up at the High Class Ocean RV Resort in Canada, I had found a book that I loved in their little free book exchange. So they're becoming more and more popular at the campgrounds. Now the campground has primitive sites. They have electric only sites and they have full hookup sites. So if you're not in a full hookup site, on the main road coming in, before you make your turn to go to Loop B, A, B, or C, or you would continue straight to Loop D, this is where the dump station is. And you can see there's 4 of them. So you can get through here in a relatively quick time, even on like a Sunday, you know, when the weekend crowd is leaving. So they do have an adequate number of dump stations for the number of campers that would need them. Now, one of the unique things about French Creek State Park, the pool here is huge, so it's not open right now. But I'll link a video in here that has a look at the pool, and you can see how massive the pool is. Of course, the amphitheater is right at the entrance to the campground, so you want to check their activities for the time that you're at the French Creek State Park to see what presentations that they're providing. And here you can see the ranger station at the entrance to the campground. So as you're coming in, there is a water fill station right at the entrance. You can see you have two of them, one on that side and one on this side. Now, each of the loops also has multiple fill stations. So if this one is busy or you missed it and you hit your camping loop, you can find the water fill stations for those that don't have water at their site. Now, one thing about French Creek, the individual loops don't have trash cans at each loop. The only trash cans are down here at the entranceway. So you'll want to plan accordingly, you know, to take your trash down. And they do have recycling. So here you can see for 2025, Loop B is closed and Loop D is closed. So I suspect they're probably putting in, you know, electric and water and that kind of stuff. So we'll have to see. Remember, kids under 12 must have a bike helmet if they're riding their bikes. Look at this payphone. That works. Huh. The other thing to remember about Pennsylvania state parks is no alcohol. So just remember that if you're camping at state park. There are the main rules. First camping trip of the season. Boys had half a day of school today, so they came with. What kind of snack did you have?
Potato chips.
Barbecue for Mr. Emmerich. Colin, what kind did you have? Regular?
I had regular potatoes.
All right.
Do you know we usually have chocolate milk in the morning too?
Yeah.
How
Okay.
now?
Are we heading to the playground?
After my hands dry off so I can do this special part.
Okay.
Maybe you want to try it, Emmerich? No.
Here goes Callum.
I can help you, Emmerich.
Hi. See you later.
He's getting stronger as he gets older.
Hey, Emmerich.
He made it. Now it's Mr. Emmerich's turn. And wiggle your hand. That's it. Good job. Good job. Yeah. He made it. What do you think, Phoebe J? First camping trip of the season. Is it good? First camping trip of the season, Phoebe J? Baba, what do you think? First camping trip of the season.
We're here.
French Creek State Park. Shaking out the camper. And ready for a trip.
That means the time up.
Everyone's getting older.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Oh.
I only found the ball.
Good job. She let it go because she didn't want to move, Emmerich. You could do this one, Emmerich. He's watching stuff. Watching. Where?
There's Maddie from 4th grade. There's two lakes, Scotch Run and Hopewell Lake at French Creek State Park. Oh, that's good. And Scotch Run is the one that's stocked with trout, and there's 1 million people there. So we just came over to Hopewell to give it a try. Callan just casted his out there. Callan, how'd you like that cast?
Good.
Yeah? Of course, we got Phoebe here and Baba.
Hello.
Mr. Emmer, how's it going?
I can't any fish.
I'll give it a minute. You gonna look at the camera?
I want to set it down.
No way, I'm coming over.
I want you to tell me when there's a fish.
Okay, well, we'll set it like this. We'll set it like that. That way we can watch the line. So this is Hopewell Lake, which is the larger of the two lakes. I do a lot of paddle boarding and kayaking on this lake. Well, that wraps up our first trip of the season. We didn't do too bad. Couple things we had to replace. These little filter gaskets. So on our city water connection, this little piece right here, that was the original piece. So it was in there since 2021, and it was pretty brittle and hard, so we had to get a new one. That fixed the leak there. We had to buy a new water hose. You can always keep two of them, and the oldest one I had, which I had from my camper from 2018, failed. So we replaced that. I think that was 22 bucks. The only other thing that I'm concerned about, this shower door, this outside shower door popped open on the ride to the campground. So I thought, well, maybe I just didn't have it latched right. So on the way home, it popped open again. So I gotta look at this a little bit and see if I need to replace that door. So with those few fixes, we're ready for the new season, and the next trip is coming up in just a few days. Look, if this video helped you or you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free. It helps me out a lot. Also, ring that bell. You'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps it be seen by a wider audience. But more important than all that, go have some fun out there. Hey, thanks for watching.